It's the 1960s, baby, a time of tie-dye shirts, afros, and hippies smoking that good. This period was a very tense time for the US, as there was a lot of events going on around this time. Not only was the US fighting an external battle against Vietnam and Russia,
I'm gonna smash your boy.
They were also fighting an internal battle at home with the civil rights movement. My G was really getting railed on both sides. Anyways, back then computers did exist, but they were really big and bulky pieces of shit. Oh wait, YouTube has a new rule about cursing in the beginning of your video. But, you know, since these computers only stored information, the US government was like, wouldn't it be cool if we could send stuff between these beefy boys? So the US Department of Defense Commission did just that with ARPANET, Advanced Research Project Agency Network. And eventually they would achieve their goal. But this highly advanced technology at the time was only available for higher up entities that had a contract with the department. But like many new innovations go, once something new and shiny and revolutionizing hits the stage, people are obviously gonna cop that shit and make their own versions of it. But the problem with these computer networks was that it couldn't interact with one another. Instead, it just represented its own lonely little domain of sharing. This is where Vinton Cerf and Robert Kahn comes in, where in 1973 they would create the Transfer Control Protocol, also known as TCP, a very crucial and important protocol that would allow networks to communicate with one another. But it would take a few years until ARPANET would officially change their standard into TCP/IP on January 1st, 1983, which is also known as the birthday of the internet. And before we go any further, I just want to highlight my guy Joseph Licklider, as he would be one of the first people to push the idea of a galactic network, he calls it, that allows people to access information globally. And he would push and spread his ideas onto the world and DARPA, creating the domino effect that would allow the creation of the internet. As the internet started to become more popular, there needed to be a way to organize all the sites and activity, which prompted the creation of the domain name system in 1985. And fun fact, the first domain ever registered was Symbolics.com, which was a computer company at the time. I'm guessing it didn't work out. But trust me, my friends, you haven't seen anything yet, as we now enter a new decade in human history. Tim Berners-Lee would invent the World Wide Web in 1989 and would eventually release it to the world in the early 90s. And this would be the catalyst that would bring about a new era in the internet. The 90s saw a crazy meteoric spike in .com internet-based companies. And soon consumers and investors would catch on to the internet craze and start pumping a ton of money into the industry. But like many highly optimistic and speculative moments in history, it would all eventually have to peak sometime. Obviously, we all know what happened after the .com bubble.
Bruh.
But the internet itself would be too revolutionizing and important to go away because of some risky speculation. And since that point, people have been using the internet to not only learn about the world, but also start businesses, create relationships, advance technology, pirate anime. It's a whole new world that the internet created. But it's still only the beginning. We're technically only on the 2.0 version of the internet, and who knows how many more versions of it there will be in the future. All I know is, this cat video is pretty good.
Kulikita kata, kulikita kata, kulikita kata, kulikita kata.